Hey, Mahnaim at Memberstack here, and welcome to Memberscript 198. In this video, I'm going to show you how to allow members to add certain information into Memberstack's data tables. For example, if you wanted to allow a user to save a note, so like this, and then you would save it, and that would create a new record inside of Memberstack's data table. If you wanted to allow members to save a list or an array of items, you would simply add it over here. And if a user has a record inside of the Memberstack's data tables, it will update that record inside of an array. Okay, if you wanted to allow members to save items with particular properties, you would use this form, and users can update certain information like this. Okay, let me show you how to set all of this up inside of Webflow and Memberstack. So inside of Webflow, you are going to need to add Memberscript 198, and it should look like this. Like this. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to that code should be in the description below. And if you're watching this on the Memberstack site, then you should have already seen the code. You can either add this site-wide on a particular page, depending on your specific use case. So on the page itself, you are going to add the following attributes in order to make this work. Say you just wanted to allow users to save or to create a new record inside of a particular table, you would use the basic form. You would drag in a form block, and then you would have the attributes added to the form itself. So the attributes for this would be data MS code form 1, and then data MS code table, which is set to notes in my case, because I'm updating the notes table. If yours is recipes or tasks, you would update that over here. And then the last attribute is data MS code table type, which is going to be set to basic. For the input field within that table, you are simply going to add the following attribute, which is going to be data MS code table name, and that's going to be set to note because I'm updating the notes field inside of Memberstack's data table. Okay, so the next table. Say you wanted to allow users to create a record that is also an array, you would simply add this form. And the attributes for this form would be data MS code form 1, and then data MS code table type would be set to an array, and then data MS code table is items because this is the table that I'm updating inside of Memberstack. And then data MS code array field, which would be the field that is going to be housing the array, is going to be first name. And within that form, for the input field, you are going to add the attribute of data MS code table name, which is going to be set to first name. And that is a key that you get inside of Memberstack. The last form that we have is to save an item inside of Memberstack's data tables, but with properties. For the form itself, you are going to add the following attributes of data MS code form 1, and then data MS code table type is going to be a group, and then data MS code table is going to be user profile, and that is the table that I'm updating inside of Memberstack. And then for the fields, it's going to be the same. So for the first name field or whatever your field is going to be, it'll be data MS code table name, and that is going to be the key that you get inside of Memberstack. So mine is first name, and then this one is last name, and the last one is set to email. All right, so let me show you how to set all of these tables up inside of Memberstack. In Memberstack, you are going to use one of these tables. So firstly, for the first form to save a simple item, I have the notes table over here with rules. Any member can create an item, but only the member of that item can read, update, and delete the item. Okay, and then within the table, I have the following fields, which is member reference, and that is required because we need to know exactly who submitted or created that record. And then the field over here of notes, which has the field key, and that is what you'd be copying over to the input field inside of Webflow over here. Okay, so the next table is to save an item as an array. So the table for that would be over here, which has the same rules. So any member can create an item, but only the member that owns that item can read, update, and delete their own records. Within that table, I have the following fields of member reference. Again, we need to know who created that record, and then first name. For the first name, as you can see, when a record is created and submitted, we have an array within the first name over here. If a user does not have a record inside of this table, the record will be created, and then if they input information again, it will just update that record. Okay, so the last form we have over here is to save an item with properties, and that would be the next table over here, which has the same rules. So any member can create an item, but only the member that owns that record can update, delete, and read their own records. Within the table, we have the following fields. Member reference, need to know who created the record, and then we have first name, last name, and email. All of these keys, field keys, are what you add to the input fields over here. Okay, and that is it. If you have any questions on this, feel free to reach out in the Slack 2.0 channel. Bye.